In this video, I'm gonna tell you the #1 thing that is gonna be perhaps one of the most impactful things that's gonna affect your dating life in the most positive way possible. And to be honest, it's not a thing that a lot of dating coaches talk about, but for me personally, this one thing has been super impactful in terms of the type of women I attract, in terms of my overall dating satisfaction, and just overall just my time spent dating. Now, the reason why I necessarily don't like cold approach is because how much time it takes. Like, who has the time to go out and approach 200 women a day? Right? You just don't have the time. Not to mention, you come across women who don't like you. You come across women who will waste your time. But that all changes with this one strategy. And that one strategy is dealing with high interest women only. You see, most guys, they deal with medium to low interest for the most part. And it's not really their fault, right? They don't have an optimized profile. They don't have the optimized look. You know, they lack sex appeal. And for that reason, they're getting subpar results. They feel like they have to keep spinning their wheels with women. They have to try, they gotta follow up, they gotta convince. But once I stopped convincing, and once I started dealing with the women who I knew liked me, that's where it changed for me. And I had this discovery back in 2019, where, you know, I was kind of new to the dating world, just got out of a breakup. And I was trying to figure out what dating strategy that I personally wanted to do. I knew I could cold approach, but I already knew that I didn't want to do that. I knew that, you know, I could meet friends through friends, but I moved to a new city. I didn't have any friends, but I didn't know how to take pictures. I was working on my style. And so the logical thing for me was to start using dating apps. Not to mention, you know, a lot of people were meeting through dating apps. 2019, it wasn't too popular, but it was at a point in which it was getting more and more popular. So I put my pictures up there. Keep in mind, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I still put my pictures up there. And then I started getting some matches and I started sending out messages. At first, I thought I was doing well up until the point where I consistently got ghosted. I would set up dates, a woman would flake on me. And I'm like, how did I just get 50 matches and 20 messages, but still am lonely and going out on no dates? How is that even possible? And it was because I was dealing with medium to low interest women. It wasn't until I got this one message from this one woman. She's the girl who actually red pilled me, to be honest. But she sent me like heart eyes as the first message. And I was like, okay, I've never gotten this before. This is interesting. Let's go ahead and see how this goes. She's cute too, like she's my type. Little 5'2" Latina, long black hair. Let's see how this goes. Long story short, I end up meeting her 2 days later. Out of all the women who I was messaging for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, this one girl ended up meeting with me within 2 days. And so I started to reverse engineer the process in terms of the women who I was meeting up with. And a few things I started to realize was, #1, they almost always messaged me first. Not always, but almost always messaged me first. 2, they validated me pretty early on, be it sending me like heart eye emojis or telling me how attractive they thought I was. And #3, they made themselves available really fast. And then after discovering that, I only started dealing with women who would show me those signs, which is high interest women. Now, a lot of guys think, you know, when you deal with high interest women only, they're not gonna flake anymore, or they're not gonna, you know, play some BS. And that's not always the case, right? Sometimes they still do, but it's very rare. You just deal with it less overall. And so the question I started asking myself was, how can I start attracting more high interest women? Because they came here and there, but it wasn't at the frequency in which I like. But not only that, some guys might ask, okay, I get high interest women, but it's not really the girls I'm excited about. You know, it's like the 3s, the 4s, the average woman, like they'll shoot their shot, but like the 7s, 8s, 9s, they're not really choosing for me. And so that's when I told myself I need to maximize my look, my appearance, my style, and overall my points of leverage, so that way they have no choice but to message me first. They have no choice but to match with me. And this is where the whole Romeo effect was born. I maximize my image, my look, my fitness. I'm implementing multiple triggers of attraction. I learned the female gaze in terms of psychology of attraction, especially online, what they respond to. And now consistently every single day, I have at least 5 to 10 women hitting me up on autopilot, and they're all high interest. And through there, that's when I discern and choose who I want to go out with. You know, for me, I tend to prioritize compliance and interest versus attraction. But at the end of the day, I have options. And 5 years ago, it wasn't like that. 6 years ago, it wasn't like that. I wish I had options, right? And so this one thing, dealing with high interest women, dealing with women who saw me as a prize, dealing with women who already pre-selected me by positioning myself in the best way possible is what did it for me. Now, some guys will hear this and they'll still go out and chase. They'll still quote approach 200 women a day for social skills. You know, they'll still use subpar pictures and images and not know how to craft their style. They'll still send out 100 cold DMs a day, continuing to get no to low results. But if they focus on this one thing, I promise you it will change the game. Now guys, I have maximized my look, but not only myself, but for others. I work with hundreds of guys in all areas of the world. And I can tell you that the same thing applies everywhere. And I actually crafted a whole system with this. I call it the Romeo effect. The Romeo effect is the effect of positioning yourself to have more high interest women who actually text you back, who actually show up on the date, and who actually have high interest. That's what we're aiming for here. Everything else is cope. Like I promise you, every other dating strategy is cope. You'll get more and more frustrated. You'll put in so much effort, not get the results. But this is literally the only thing that will guarantee you more and better results with women in your day-to-day life. I promise you. Imagine a life in which, you know, I'm on a beach day right now. You can't see her, she's over there somewhere. Imagine, you know, you get to go to the beach with a very attractive woman who pursues you, who gives value to your life. Or maybe, you know, you want to keep it casual. You have 2-3 dates lined up within the week, all eager to show up and see you and meet you. That can be your life, brother. All right, so I created a free presentation for you going over the Romeo effect. I want you to right now click the link down below. I'm gonna show you exactly how this works, how you can start having high interest women pursue you so that you stop chasing and stop wasting your time, all right? Link will be down below. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.